Hello YouTube. This is my second crack at making this video. No one will ever know all the wonderful little tidbits I gave you before. But I had to delete my cell phone because I ran out of time. It ran all the way to 5 minutes and 26 seconds, and that's all I had before when I deleted my phone. Anyways, rusty pieces of iron for self-defense. I'm not going to go into all the details I went to before, but here in Canada, we have permits for having guns. We have a restricted and a non-restricted permits. Restricted, you need to have membership to a local gun club, because the only place to legally discharge restricted weapons in Canada is at a gun club. I have my restricted weapons license. I do not currently own any restricted weapons. Could I? Yes. I do not belong to a gun club. There is a, not necessarily a loophole, just another section of it where it talks about you can own for collector's purposes. The problem is to go through for collector's purposes is so much work, so much screwing around, that there is some handguns that I am actually legitimately looking at as a collector's point of view, and it's going to be easier for me to join a gun club and then get my restricted handguns sent to me. Because I am a large student of history, I love a lot of the old history. By the way, anyone wants a kick? That is 1/3 of the town that's closest to me. It was their sign. I now own it. There might have been a little bit of boondockery and downtown not being the perfect person in the world, but hey, so that sign, since I cut some parts off, is about 5 feet high, 5.5, 6 feet high, by 12 feet long. It will eventually be on that section of the wall. So, if I get that done, this is the last time 99% of you will see that section of the wall. No offense, but hey, I don't need to dox myself. I just learned that word last month. Apparently it means telling crazy internet people where you live. Not a big plan of mine. Although, we did get the drywall done. It's got sanded down. I just got to paint that. And then we're going to start running the hydro over there. But back to the earlier conversation about rusty iron rods for self-defense. I do own several firearms. It's kind of a necessity up in Canada, especially in a rural area. We have problems with coyotes. You also have livestock. My wife is not a fan of firearms, but she has also understood that that's a necessity for where we live and what we deal with. It's just how the dice rolls. No offense to my wife, and no offense to people who don't believe in firearms, although if you don't believe in gravity, it still affects you. I have firearms, and I have my firearms license, and to be honest with you, if you were to ever come out and make sure that my firearms were securely locked away, it would take me, honest to God, 10 minutes to get most of my firearms out so you could see them. I do have a firearm readily available. It's still locked away, but readily available to deal with raccoons and other immediate issues that need to occur. But for the most part, my firearms are very securely locked away. Reason being, I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Biggest reason being my 8-year-old, he's a little prick. Won't get into it now, but he will get into it later because he's just that sneaky of a child. Pray for me, friends. Pray for me. But as many of you, my more astute viewers have seen, I have been dealing with eye surgery and eye problems. And one of the stipulations about my eye surgery was I was not allowed to shoot guns. Not anything court suggested. It literally dealt with the impact of firearms pounding against me. Due to the fact that my cornea that is currently on my right eye isn't originally mine. It was somebody else's. I'm assuming a motorcyclist. They're really good donors. They're really nice people. They like to donate parts of their body. And literally the impact from guns could cause issues. So it was several months before I was even allowed to pick up a firearm again. And the only reason I did was due to the fact that we had an intrusion of my property by several nuisance animals. And man alive, I don't care how cute they are. If you ever deal with a raccoon, they're a nuisance animal. Anyways, that being said, I had built this spot to store several of my firearms, and I did not do what needed to be done. I did not check on them every month or every couple weeks. And now I am dealing with a new problem. Rusty pieces of iron for care of my homestead and self-defense. I now have to bring in a specialist, and he's going to be going over all my firearms, cleaning them, because I left them alone. I couldn't play with them, for lack of a better term. Horrible term to use with firearms, but I could not use them, so I just left them alone. And there was moisture issues in the new spot. I didn't have a dehumidifier. And I had these little things that's supposed to suck up moisture. They had obviously ran out 2 months before I even walked in there. I actually wiped my hand over one, and just the rust that came off of my hand was incredible. But it really comes down to check your preps, guys. I know this is a long time to say it. Normally I don't make videos this long. I really like to get to the point, show you, hey, this is what I did, and hey, this happened, but check your preps. This involves your firearms, your food especially. Food can turn on you fast. And if it's something you're relying on, for instance, hunting or self-defense, like my firearms are here on the farm, also just functional aspects if I have to put down an animal, the quickest and easiest way for most of the larger animals is a firearm. And they don't function, you're in trouble. So what I'm saying is, guys, maybe just take a day, not even a day, a couple hours. Check your preps. Check them. That's all I ask. Just go down to the basement, pop open a couple of your buckets, and go, wow, that smells horrible. Or, hey, that's okay. That was me sniffing. I'm assuming everyone caught that. But especially with the food, because realistically, I titled the video about firearms. It has nothing to do with firearms. It's more just go down and check your stuff. Like, if you've got the legacy vacuum packed food meals, great. They're not gonna turn. But you know, your stuff you've packed away yourself, maybe take a look at it. Hooples, I'm sure you don't have to worry about it so much because you're gonna go with the ever-present, I'm a vegan. I don't have to worry about animal fats. Well, guys, the rest of us that are, you know, manly, we eat animals. Animal fats are one of the hardest things to draw out. Shy of like walnuts and nut fats, but, oh geez, that came out wrong, nut fats. Ooh, edit that out later when someone else is smarter than me. But anyways, guys, just go and check your preps. Your water, your food, your firearms, whatever it happens to be, something that you have put away, just please go look at it. If not for you, for me, because I don't need you coming here. Might like it, might be a great time to visit when things are going good. But I can tell you right now, guys, very few people can come down my driveway when something goes down. So, if you can look after you, we can all look after everyone else. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.